Hello, welcome to round 9 here at Grand Prix Rotterdam. I'm Brian David Marshall. I'm joined in the booth by Matej Zadelkai because it's an odd numbered round and that's what we do.
Yeah, and I love it. Love being here. And look at that, players are not hesitating. We saw the team on the left and Dominguez, Carvalho, and Silvato in the feature match earlier, and that was their only loss. And I wanted to see more of Javier Dominguez's deck because in the games we saw, the deck didn't really come together.
No.
But
he really struggled with it. Really scuffled to get it to go off.
Yeah. I mean, it's just an aggressive deck, and he just always seems to draw way too many lands. So we'll see how he does against the blue-green, what looks like an energy deck from Xenon Tausanis.
And true or false, his team's name is the Thomas Hendricks Fan Club.
Oh, they have 2 draws? What? But undefeated still.
Undefeated still.
Do you think they can get another draw here?
That would not be great for them.
No, certainly not. I mean, we've seen that last round. 2 of the undefeated teams drew.
Yep.
Frank Karsten picking up a draw. Quite unusual for him, picking up an unintentional draw. Even though I remember once he went 6-6-6 at the World Championships.
It looks like he picked Xenon picked up a swamp there.
I think he picked an island, but he only has lands in his hand.
Oh, okay. I did see a swamp.
Yeah, I think he already had it in his hand.
Dund Operative was the play. Syndicate Trafficker is the follow-up for Dominguez. He gets in for 2, but does he not have a third land? Are we just going to see him misfire on camera all the time?
Yeah, well, now Xenon is the one that has all the lands, though. So it might be the classic battle of Mana Screw against Mana Flood.
There's the third type. Swamp Forest Island. He's got a Thriving Turtle, which attacked last turn and used up its energy. But he still has 2 energy from the Attune with Ether.
Yeah, he is an Etherborn Marauder, which actually could be pretty decent on the following turn. I think he's gonna swing with the Thriving Turtle here. And he could also leave it back. I like the Marauder. You can still count it from the Turtle, which is usually not that impressive. Yeah. So swings for 2. A little risky here, but getting a 4/4 flyer lifelinker.
Yep, absolutely.
Some decks just can't deal with those.
So Javier Dominguez finds his third land. He missed it for 1 turn, and promptly gets in for 5. So no artifact coming here.
Nope.
But he does have a Spireside Infiltrator.
Now I want to see if he attacks with the turtle here. Could attack for 2 and then play the Marauder and get a nice 4/4. But if Javier has a removal spell, oof.
Or if Javier blocks, right? Like, and then you steal the counters afterwards, it would die.
Sure.
Oh, there's the Marauder.
Yeah. Javier's like, what is this? Flicking through his cards really fast.
He clicks all counters.
Yeah.
And has a 4/4 lifelinker.
I love it. I would call it a Baneslayer Angel.
Yeah.
Any big flying lifelinker is a Baneslayer Angel in my book. Six wins and 2 draws. I still can't get over it. I'm sorry. I know I keep rambling on about it.
No, it's crazy. Okay, so everybody attacks here. Xenon takes 1 from the Spireside Infiltrator, and now has to think about whether or not he wants to block something.
I'll just run the Dun Operative as long as he can. It's still just a 2/2, not a 3/2.
Right.
There's no artifacts in play. He takes 6 here, and after that ping and the creatures, but I think Xenon can untap into Repairing Tiger at least.
Okay.
And that should stem the bleeding.
And he gets to go back up to 10 with an attack for 4.
Exactly, yeah.
Too much can go wrong there with blocking, even the 2/2 there.
Okay. Pyro Helix finishes off.
There's one of the things that could have gone wrong.
And a Nightmare Lookout. That's bad news for Xenon here.
Wow, he's down to 5.
Okay. I mean, he probably still has to attack, play the Tiger, and hope the Tiger is just big enough. He also has a Janji Sentry. But I'm not sure if he has anything else going on. He just had a lot of lands from the get-go. Oh, I think his animation module.
Ooh.
A natural reaction from you.
I have a Pavlovian reaction to modules.
I'm not surprised. I mean, it does something.
That's several things. Okay, there's the tiger. And I think, yeah, he's not going to attack here because maybe he figures, look, how many removal spells can the red-black deck have? How many tricks?
How many can it really have?
And thinks maybe he's got a block here. I mean, even if he had a subtle strike, you know, you'd still gain 3 life and kill the Dund operative.
Oh, let's see what Javier has here. It looks like Scrappy Scrounger. That's works nicely with the Trafficker, the Operative.
Yeah, this is bad times here. Javier taunts us all with his pen spinning ability.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, same. You can't do the return flip though.
Yeah, his hand looking solid, like Bomar Bazaar Barge.
Yeah, he's gonna get in with the Syndicate Trafficker.
And that's the safest attack, because he can always sacrifice the Scrappy Scrounger to it against a tapped out opponent.
Get a +1/+1 counter, become indestructible for the turn.
Yeah, he's just thinking if he doesn't want to attack with the other cards as well. Because remember, once he taps the Night Marker Lookout and his Parasite Infiltrator, Xenon is basically on
3.
3, yeah. But he just doesn't want them to get any value out of that Aetherborn Marauder.
Wow. You can't afford to go to 2 here.
Oh, I don't think so.
Or even 1, as it were. You have to block, right?
It just feels so bad.
I was thinking about blocking with the Marauder.
Yeah, but I guess he has to.
I mean, he is very close to dead just with this, like you said, with the Night Market Lookout and the Spireside Infiltrator.
Yeah. He's going to go for it. At least he's going to gain 4 life here.
So he goes to 9. Trafficker becomes a 4/2.
Yeah, but I don't know how he wants to win, win the game anyway. You can already see he's already talking to his teammate, Paulberg Mortensen, because Marcio is up in their match.
Marcio is up a game, yeah.
Marcio winning Unlimited. Hardly surprising.
Boy, he was the draft master last season on the Pro Tour.
Yeah.
Got himself to the World Championship, made it all the way to the finals. There's the Genjit Sentry. Goes up to 4 energy. You do a little bit of tapping.
And now the animation module.
So it gets to, whenever a 1/1 counter goes on a creature, you can pay 1, get a servo, and then you can start like adding counters onto things that have counters.
It would have been sweet with the Aetherborn Marauder.
Yeah, yes, it would have.
But Javier Dominguez's pressure is unrelenting. Now he's going to play an Eager Construct, get another artifact in play, and also hopefully gets to scry to his 4th land, because I think he has Furious Reprisal in his hand.
Yeah, he does. All right, there's the Eager Construct. Scries. And 4th land also gets him to his Beaumont Bazaar Barge.
Die young for Xenon.
It's a nice way to deal with that Syndicate Trafficker.
Yeah. Now Javier has to think. Doesn't want to attack here. I mean, tough spot for both players here. Zen just had a very slow draw with a lot of lands. Now I think he will be forced to keep that Dai Yang on top.
I think he pushed it ultimately.
Oh, he put it
Yeah, he originally had it on top and then rethought about it and then pushed
Wow.
it to the bottom.
in a swing with everything. So
Falls to 7 here.
yeah, Javier gains life.
Blocks the infiltrator.
What does he block with the other one though? He has to block one of the bigger creatures. He can't just block the night market lookout.
Well, right now he's taking 7 from
Yeah.
the other 2 creatures.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Like at best he can trade with the done operative here. Takes 5 though still. Yeah, the sentry's dead. This doesn't look very good for Xenon Talsanis.
Scryed away the Dai Young to only to draw land there.
Yeah, it just only lands. Yeah,
Yep. Yeah, there's the Dai Young on the bottom.
unfortunate there.
So Javier Dominguez goes up 1-0 on Zenith Tashanis here.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, I think Xenon had like 3 times as many lands as Javier, but that's the advantage of their black-red decks. Like they can operate on 3 mana. It's best if they get to 4, but their curve usually stops at 4. They sometimes have 1 5-drop.
And those decks will often be shy on land because they only play 15 sometimes.
Yeah. I've seen some
Yeah, I've
crazy
seen
pe-
fewer.
Yeah.
So there's a bristling Hydra for Marcio Carvalho
Yeah,
as we switch over to our middle table.
yeah, big threat for a colony. It's nice to have, but usually you want it when you're the person attacking, not when you're on defensive.
It cannot block no matter how big it gets.
Yep.
And it rumbles in for 5 here. Drops Marcio to 11. He's got a Chief of the Foundry. He's got another Chief of the Foundry in his graveyard. Paul Berg does.
Yeah.
And he's looking down a big, fat army of creatures.
Hey, Paul Berg Morton does have a tidy conclusion in his hand, so at least he'll be able to destroy the tiger. But the Hydra seems untouchable at this point.
Yeah, with 8 energy, he can activate it. He can protect it from 2 different spells.
Yeah. So he pumps up the tiger. It's I think that it's going to be force the tidy conclusion, and I think the Chief of the Foundry will block the Servant of the Conduit. Paul's gonna. I think he might just still be there because he only gains 1 life of the tiny conclusion, goes up to 7.
Right.
And once the Paulberg Morton's tapped out, Marcio will just use the ability of the Hydra twice to win. Yeah.
You see Marcio picking up his tiger.
And now it's basically the road is clear for him to pump the Hydra, let it resolve, and pump it again. Yeah.
You see Marcio
Yeah,
just
it's like-
slap the dice off of his energy
he's
counter.
like, just
All
take
right.
it. Yeah, he still had 2 Apima Outriders in his hand as well. Like, he would have
Wow.
won the following turn easily as well. That was 2 very quick wins from
Yes,
Marcio.
absolutely. There's only 1 other game finished between the other 2 matches.
Yeah.
And they're already done. Luis Salvato and Joachim Schlode.
Shoulder.
Sure.
I wouldn't be able to tell you where the guys are from, but I would assume Denmark maybe, or Sweden.
All right, so we're looking in on Luis Salvato and Joachim. Oh, Scholde. Sure. I saw that. I didn't see that as an I. I thought that was an
Yeah,
L. I
but
thought that
it-
was S.
But it might also be like
SCHL.
Skilda or something like that.
Sure.
Wouldn't surprise me. And but that looks like a sweet deck. 3 blue, white, red. I haven't seen that much today. And I assume there's some virtuosing. Look at
Oh, look at this.
that.
Wow, an acrobatic maneuver from the Cataclysmic Gear Hulk. He might be fat, but he's nimble.
Yeah, and he gets to keep his aerial responder, while his opponent gets to only keep the self-assembler and 1 of the flyers, which was going to be the Sky Swirl Harrier.
Sure.
Why not? Does Luis Silva have anything else to follow up, though? I just think I see Glintsleeve Artisan.
Yeah, which I think he just drew.
Yeah, 24-8. I think aerial responder has been doing some work.
And Cataclysmic Gear Hulk attacks.
Yeah, Joachim still has stuff to do. He has self-assemble and a per diem in his hand. Ooh, and he takes the 5 here. Risky business.
Here's a Glint Sleeve Artisan. Decide what he wants to do.
Oh, servo.
Yeah.
He wants to try to go wide here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll keep you updated on this. It's still game one. Let's see what happens with Javier Dominguez and Zenin, because if Javier wins this, then the Dex Army team will have won the match.
Yeah, and the third match will not matter. And Javier has a very fast draw with a 9 market lookout and a scrappy scrounger. I'm not saying this stuff is constructed, but it's getting quite close.
Yeah, Welding Sparks takes down the Imperial Voyager, and he gets in for 5 here.
Yeah.
This is turn 3.
Yeah.
And Zenin's already taken a beating.
Oh, well, the aggressive start from Javier. We'll see if he has a follow-up.
Here's a Pima Outrider.
Yeah, gets a 4-4 though because he wants to block the scrounger. See if there's more removal in Javier Dominguez's hand. No, Sky
But
Skiff.
he's got a Sky Skiff.
Good enough for me. Night Market Lookout says, hello there.
Yeah, I've got a job to do.
Yeah. He's not just going to look out. He's going to get in the chopper.
He's like, you want me to take care of your car? You want me to move it every night? Okay, at the end of your turn, I'll move the car. On my turn, I'll move the car.
Indeed. So there's some decent cards in Zenon's hand. He also has the Aetherborn Marauder as well, again. So he can create a nice lifelink flyer. Question is if he wants to play it here, or maybe he wants to play another Pima Outrider after combat. No, I think that's what he should do. If he has it, just attack for 4, play another Outrider as a 4/4. Following turn, swing for 8, and then play post combat the Marauder as a 4/4 lifelinker.
Yeah, the 4/4s can certainly change this race quite a bit.
He's gonna go for it here though before attacking. He's still thinking. If there's any advice for less experienced Magic players from out of what I've seen today, try to think of what you're going to do before you start doing, because it can put you in a very very bad spot.
Right. And as soon as you start tapping your mana and untapping your mana, you're telling your opponent about the assortment of cards in your hand.
Yeah, the options that you're working with. Yeah.
So gets in for 4 with the Pima Outrider, and then after combat plays the Aetherborn Marauder. Again, we see Dominguez way behind on mana development, but again, his deck doesn't need as much.
No.
Doesn't play a lot.
It looks like he's animating the Sky Skiff, and he's attacking, clearly signaling a trick. I would assume Subtle Strike.
I think he missed actually a Sky Skiff activation at the end of his opponent's turn.
It might have been, yeah. So maybe build to smash, Subtle Strike, Rush of Vitality. Let's see. Tough decision for Zenon Tassanis. He's gonna block the Sky Skiff.
Yep, and it looks like it is going to be a Subtle Strike.
Hardly surprising. Yeah, he's gonna make the Marauder smaller, just so that it gains fewer life.
Yep. So yours is a 2/2, mine's a 3/4.
Yeah, he could have put a counter on something else.
And it would have had the same effect, but this is one less point of life for Zenon this way. Oh, he could have put the counter somewhere else. Yeah, absolutely.
But for him, it's good to have a 3/4 flyer to activate within the lookout. So he certainly doesn't mind. And yeah, I think Night Market Lookout is one of the breakout cards of this tournament. It just really showing its power in such a synergy-driven format as Team Field is. And we've seen plenty of black-red decks just deciding not to play these guys. But alongside Spireside Infiltrators and Vehicles, yeah, it's certainly powerful. And I see some high fives there. At one of the 7-1 tables, a Danish team with Alexander Paskar just defeated Samuel Estrati, Matteo Versari, and Alessandro Lippi, one of the most experienced Team Sealed teams. They've been together for years.
Yeah, they have a top 4, I think, as a team.
Yeah, they do. And they're just a solid bunch of players. I've had enough.
Die Young, Night Market Lookout.
Yeah,
so Janjit Sentry was played, and then the Night Market Lookout died to the Die Young.
Yep.
Still plenty of energy. Well, just 2, actually.
Yeah.
For Zenon, who can now still has another Pima Outrider in hand that he can play.
Yeah.
Start gumming up the board.
It looks like he doesn't mind trading the Sentry for the Scrappy Scrounger. If got the opportunity.
I think at this point the Scrounger is probably
Yeah.
activating this skill, I guess.
It can come back. That's the good part.
And
But
if he has another creature here, which he does.
I think he's gonna try to scry into a land again. Stuck on 3 again. Yeah. Xenon had just another swamp on top of his library. Scries that to the bottom. Yep. And 3 damage. Xenon, the 3/4 Skyskip doing work.
And now the Night Market Lookout can do a little bit more work if he wants to bring the Scrappy Scrounger back.
Yeah. Not bad. Not bad for a 1/1 for 1.
One of the most maligned creature to casting cost, ratios.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe Repairing Tiger?
Llanowar Elf set the bar pretty high for that.
True.
All right, here's the Repairing Tiger. So he still has a Pima Outrider in hand.
Yeah. True about it. Now he's starting to actually put together a clock that can rival the clock of Javier, who has... there's some... the Skyskip needs some help. It's 3 power. Oh, there's a 4th land, though. That signals a good card. Yeah, and Malphus Squad is one of them.
So the servo can activate the skiff. Drop Xenon down to 4. He can crack back for 9 this turn.
There's an attune with Ether. So, well, I think Xenon, no matter what he does, I think he has to play the Pima Outrider with a servo, just because the Malphus Squad has Menace.
Yeah.
So he needs 2 creatures. And just staying back just doesn't really just
Do you
solve
think
the
he
problem.
needs to attack here and then make 2 creatures to block the Malphus Squad?
Yeah. Basically, because the Skyskip is going to kill him in 2 turns.
Yeah.
And Javier might just have the kill in his hand already. He can have Furious Reprisal, he can have Chandra's Pyro Helix, even just another Subtle Strike, Rush of Vitality. There's so many outs.
I think he might have a Furious Reprisal.
Yeah.
So there's a Pima Outrider.
It's Servo.
It makes a servo, yep.
And he's going to play a tune as the last card in his hand. And I think Javier can... Yeah, he shows the Furious Reprisal, yeah.
And that's the match. The Team Dex Army guys, Javier Dominguez, Marcio Carvalho, and Luis Salvato win the match. Luis Salvato didn't need to win his. He was down a game, but the other 2 players won their matches 2-0.
Yeah, very happy.
They go to 8-1. 6-1-2 for Xenon, Paul Berg, and Joaquim. That's it for us here on day 1 at Grand Prix Rotterdam. We'll be back. That's it for this round.